Well, welcome everybody to week 8 in our Formula G series. We are in Singapore this week, which poses its very own unique challenges because of the relatively small size for the feature race. We are given a shorter amount of time for our drivers today, only 3 minutes, Calamity.
Yeah, 2 minutes less than in any of the other countries before, which makes quite a big difference generally. But still, given how easy Singapore is, you probably would have even been fine with 2 minutes to sort of, you know, not have 7 people or like 8 people get a perfect score. But,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the logic behind the shorter time limit. Is the nature of Singapore is relatively easier, so by shortening it a bit, it hopes to spread out the field a bit more without everybody crowding up and getting 25K for that.
yeah, and in most for most people who we'll see didn't get quite a perfect score, time wasn't the limit.
Yeah, I mean it is a small map, so let's not forget that the points will be hard to come by unless you're really super accurate. But if you have enough time, that kind of doesn't become as much of a factor. But the time limit combined with the small map will prove to be a kind of a unique of all the different countries we play in Formula G,
I mean,
a unique challenge. So
I guess, but I could have had an hour for round five and I still wouldn't have, gotten the perfect score there. It doesn't change anything.
I guess. Maybe anyways, we'll see what that all looks like as we get into these. So let's jump right in to our first round. So we have M the Baseman, as well as M Wickham, Calamity, me, and Mr. Blue today. We're seeing M the Baseman here in round 1, and we start off obviously in Singapore.
Big
All
surprise.
the flags, yeah. So and lots of good road names. Calamity, the road names in Singapore are very helpful, correct?
Yeah, a lot of the smaller roads are named after the district that they're in. So once you see that multiple roads have the same name and just, have a number added on the back, you kind of know, okay, that's something I can look for on the map. The bigger roads don't generally follow any sort of pattern like that, but there's like, I don't know, 15, 20 bigger roads that are, maybe more, like 30 bigger roads that have a unique name. You could technically remember all of them, but you could also just walk far enough to find one of the smaller ones.
Yeah. Yeah, and in the basement actually traveling quite a bit for the nature of the first location, given how many signs he's seen, as well as all the labels. And it does appear that if you'll notice that there is the Riverside residence right there. There we go. He'll know he's in the right spot. Kind of a intersection of two bridges, which is pretty interesting. Lots of roads going every which way makes it a bit confusing, but he will get the 5K. Might want to mention that this might be very quick too.
Yeah.
Given everybody wants to race and get those that bonus point chance. So 8 meters away from him in round 1. Everybody else, Calamity, how did they all do?
Yes, and Wickham dropped 27 points for guessing on sort of the wrong side of the intersection. Everyone else with a perfect score.
Yeah. So you see that, like, while it might be easy to find, being on just the wrong side of the intersection costing you a lot of points there. So they do drop off quite fast. So, okay, well then let's keep the pace up and jump right into round number 2 with M. Wickham. I'm already out of that bonus point contention. So let's see if he can at least get a 5K here. And starting off in the suburbs, one of those massive, tall apartment complexes that is kind of stereotypical Singapore.
Yeah, let's see. He's found one road, Hougang Street 991.
Just a lot of streets.
Yeah, it's probably a glitch in the camera. It's actually a Hougang Street 91. But
Yeah,
it looked
probably.
very convincing there on the sign. So yeah, that already tells you what you should be looking for, which is
And there's
Hogang.
Hogang District right there. Not too far from where we just were.
Mm.
And he will notice that and zoom on in there, looking for number 9.
The problem he might have now is that Hogang district is pretty big, and most of the streets that are actually named after the district are in the far north of it. Sort of north of the yellow road that you might be able to see there, called Hogang Avenue 2. The roads south of that in Hogang district are, just have unique names. So you kind of have to expand your search radius there a bit. But the problem is also that you might not think that the district extends that far north. So you might not look for it there at the start.
He is prowling in the right area, having checked out the southern area and not seen anything. And he does seem to. He's found 8. And see if you can see 9. And those apartment complexes look correct. You'll go back. Just about a minute left to go for him here.
Yeah. Something else you can use to find out where you are a bit, well, probably not the general area, but finding out where exactly you are, is a lot of those apartment complexes in Singapore have a specific number associated with them. And
right.
you can oftentimes find those numbers on signs pointing, towards the apartment complex. And in this case, we are between houses 927 and 928. So if you would find a sign for that,
He's got. It looks like he's there. 927. Yep. He put us right in front on the little side road, and there is a somewhat of an intersection. I don't know if that's actually meant for vehicles, but.
This intersection, yeah, that's meant for vehicles.
No, the little side one where the people. Yeah, this one obviously is. So that appears to be where that is. A little too far to the east here. See if he can adjust. He needs to turn around and look at those buildings behind him. There. Oh, nope. Oh, and he runs out of time. But fortunately for him, maybe a bit lucky there. He didn't even turn around once. And seemed to use the opposite side of the street to do all his pinpointing, which is very unique indeed from him. But it seems to work out. 2 meters away, 5K, very well done.
Yeah, that's interesting. Using the buildings behind you to the south was a lot easier, definitely.
That's what I did. So, and we'll come showing off his stuff there in round 2. So how did everybody else do, Calamity?
Yep, 5Ks all around.
5Ks all around. Okay. Do you have the times by any chance? Who was the fastest in that round?
For all of them or just for R5?
Sorry, who?
For all the people or just R5?
Just R5.
I was. In 1 minute 45. The Basement was 2 minutes 9. Mr. Blue was 2 minutes 29, and you and Wickham both had 3 minutes.
Yeah. My approach to this was not to worry about those bonus points and just worry about the 25K, given how I'm kind of a latecomer to the field. So that was my focus. So, okay, well, let's move on to round number 3 as we take a look at yours. You claimed this in our Formula G show as being a very interesting round from your perspective. So let's see if it lives up to the hype here. And we start off in a mishmash of roads. And, good sign, Brandell Road right there. So one of those uniquely named roads at the start. So we don't have a district to help us.
Yes, it's called Bradell Rise. And
Bradell.
Yeah. And I sort of realized here that after going west and a bit east as well, I think, or just looking east at the start, this is a highway. This is not going to give me any useful information. So I went back and for some reason went the same way again.
I was about to say, and did the same thing twice.
Then I walked down this road and teleported myself to a small side road here. And some people at this point would go like, oh, I teleport myself to a side road. There's no information. You go back. I went, well, there might not be information that helps me, pinpoint the start. But there we go. There is a sign that tells me a district.
District. Yeah.
And once I know the district, I'm surely going to be able to find Burdell Rice in there somewhere. At this point, though, I think I wasn't. Was I? I wasn't paying attention for 10 seconds. Okay, I have found the district.
There we go. Now he'll zoom in. Yeah, it's a very interesting approach, and that unique Y intersection does appear to be it. Lots of roads, lots of interchanges. Can look a little bit confusing, but count the roads and do time, and very quick 5K, and I can't even pause it fast enough. There we go. So yeah, 5K from you there, and only about a minute and a half again. So
yeah,
very well done.
Yeah, it didn't take longer than 1:45 for any of the first 4 rounds. But I didn't have the fastest time in this one, Mr. Blue, with 1:13. And you, as well as M the Basement and M Wickham, took all 3 minutes. You did manage to find it. M the Basement and M Wickham didn't. M Wickham was on the same road, but about 2 kilometers further to the east. And M the Basement was somewhere to the northeast, like 3 kilometers away or something. 4.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I had to just go off on one of the side roads and find a few names when I had a couple names in mind. And then I think I found one of the big unique road names in the distance, like on a sign. And so I kind of used that to zoom in, and then you eventually find the streets, but it did take me the full amount of time. But yeah, a very interesting strat there from you, hopping to a district, looking for those district names, and then going back to the start and doing some more pinpointing. Probably the faster way to do it, especially with how fast you clicked through that. But yeah, so 2 very interesting kind of approaches to 2 rounds back to back there with M Wickham and you, Calamity. Let's see if I can continue to prove to be an interesting person to watch in round 4. And there we go, into round 4, and a cul-de-sac, a wonderful place to start, great for pinpointing. And these actual houses, not high-rise apartments, is a pretty good clue of where you might be in Singapore as well. Not to mention the palm trees. So, and there's a Marina Collection, another roundabout, and the Cape Royal Hotel. I think once I realized we were on the water and next to the hotel, that's about all I really need. Just start skimming the coastline. And I'll get there eventually. Marina Bay, Marina South. I'm slow, but I get there. Be patient. I got 3 minutes. I'm using every second I got. I'm not losing my 25K. There we go. So, but yeah, so those kind of nicer houses, and the coastal is kind of a pretty good clue. You're in the south area.
Yeah.
There we go. And I will spot and there we go, the little island, and gotta check the name of the road.
What do you spend the next minute of your time on?
I don't know. Let's find out. What did I just? But I'm chatting away. Yeah, I'm sure. Having a bit of fun with it. Okay, double checking. Looking for the name. Taking my time. Oh, yep, there it is. Sandy Island. Sure enough. Perfect. So, I mean, I am talking, so I'm not just thinking. So I'm trying to make it interesting for anybody who's watching my video. So, especially since I know I already know yeah. Well, it's private now, but by the time this video will go live, it will be available because the deadline will have passed. So we don't want to spoil things too early, so I wait to release the videos until after we know that nobody can cheat or gain any information from them. So yeah. I think I'm just enjoying the sights, really. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah. I mean, there is a few little islands, and I mean, I've already seen the road name and everything. So
yeah,
I'm just just doing a bit of a victory lap, Calamity. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Trying to help the viewer understand my thought process. Yep. And I'll guess 13 seconds early. I didn't use my whole time. I had 10 seconds. So, but yeah, 5K for me. And it did pay off a little bit. As you can see, Berryfish Bear is in the lead as playing so far, and I was closer to it than he was, so wasn't all for nothing. And how did the rest of the field do in round 4, Calamity?
Perfect scores for everyone apart from M. Wickham, who was, let me quickly look, somewhere near the center of Singapore. Well, the center of the, downtown, a bit to the east of that, still sort of in the marina, but, not quite that close to the sea. Time-wise, it was Mr. Blue with 1:28, followed by me with 1:35. And then you and M the Basement both took approximately the same time. He was 10 seconds quicker.
Yeah, again, just I knew like going into it, I wasn't going to try to be racing the clock. I was just make sure you get the 5K, take your time, make sure you're confident in your guess, because how competitive this race was going to be, I knew if I didn't get like 25K or like 4:24.99 or something, I was going to be out of points. So I was just like, nope, get the 25K. So yeah, let's check a look at Mr. Blue then for our final round in round 5. As you can see, he's got all 20,000 points going into this. So let's see how he does. And a very nice boulevard for round 5, but no good pinpointable landmarks, which means it could get interesting. This must have been what you were talking about, Calamity.
Yes, this was definitely the round. I've figured out where I am pretty much a minute in. And then I spent 2 minutes somehow trying to figure out where exactly, but I couldn't do it. Yeah, there it tells you Woodlands Avenue, bunch of those. Woodlands is a district in Singapore. And given that you're on a pretty big road in said district, once you figure out which road you're on, it's pretty easy to find.
Yeah, so that was kind of the checklist for me as well. You see Woodlands, you got to figure out which number you're on. And then, again, 2 minutes essentially looking for that actual pinpoint location.
It's also
a little bit to the west, you see Woodlands 5. So yeah, we're on Woodlands Avenue 12, which makes sense. Mr. Blue's already on it.
Yeah, I did the exact same thing, but just thinking about it now, you probably wouldn't even need to, considering you're on a very straight, pretty long road that goes in that certain direction, and to the south of you is nothing. You can probably figure out pretty easily which road you're on just looking at the map there.
Yeah, which appeared to be what he did for the most part. He didn't really need that road number before he was close. Anyway, there's Woodland Close, as I say that, so that'll help him pinpoint things down a little bit more. And yeah, we are somewhere across from those buildings. And this is the tricky part. Unless you can kind of sort of try to teleport yourself over there or something.
You can, but it doesn't help much.
Says the person who probably did it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct.
So, for me, it came down to the whole proportion. How many clicks to one road, how many clicks to another road, and use that to kind of place yourself proportionally in between. And it proved beneficial. He'll guess with about, he will guess. With about 30 seconds left on the clock, and he will do that indeed. 5K, 10 meters off. You can see Berryfish Bear, though, a little bit closer to that location. But I think this was a round that ruined it for most people, Calamity, if there was one. So
yeah, once it comes to geometry, I'm just bad. I know that. Yeah, from our drivers, perfect scores from you and Mr. Blue, but I lost 24 points by being 26 meters away. M the Basement a bit further down the road, losing 141 points, and then Wickham losing just over 1,000 points by being further down the road in the other direction.
Okay. Yeah, I think pretty much everybody in the top 8 got a perfect score this week. If you want to know the full details of all of this, check out the Formula G show here on the channel. But really, it was pretty much anybody who didn't get 25K, but was in that 24K range was somebody who had one bad round, they couldn't find it. And for most people, that was this one. I think you said Mr. No, and the basement had one bad round.
It was actually
earlier on too.
Going through the list there, closed one bad round. This one, Deep Thought had his loss of points in round 4. Tall Impala had round 2 and 4. Then Yomi had round 2 and 5. Orpheus had round 5. Simi had round 3 and 5. Redirect had round 2 and 3. And then we're getting into the territory where Shumio Beloso had one round with a perfect score. So Lemons had 2.
Okay.
And M the Basement had this round and round 3, where he didn't find it.
Yeah. So definitely round 5 being the perfect game killer here. A bit of a rough one, but still doable. This race definitely came down to distance away from the pinpoint, from the actual locations, as compared to the score, with 8 players getting 25K. So well done to all of those. Maybe we should do that. Of the people we saw, how did they finish up in terms of points?
Yeah. Mr. Blue and you both with a perfect score. Mr. Blue 2 meters closer, means 2 positions higher up. In 5th place, you in 7th. Then I was the best of the people who didn't get a perfect score in 9th, with 24,976 and 53 meters away. The Basement in 20th. Well, 20th on the results page, which means 18th of the standings, with 22,132, and M Wickham 1 place behind him with 19,529.
Okay, very nice. Well, that'll wrap it up for us. A bit of a short one here, given the nature of the race with the shorter time limit. I hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all next time when we head over to Russia, which, as unique as Singapore is, so is Russia, but in a very different way. So the largest country in the world, right? I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So yeah, almost the other end of the spectrum. So we'll see you all then. Take care.
Bye.